The starter has started his countdown. And the crews are off. Both crews very clean, very flat water here. Crews are right next to each other as they get off the line. I have Princeton at a 46. And Cornell at a 47. Very high ratings, very good conditions here. The crews are still level. Princeton may have a slight lead here, but not much more than a seat. Princeton's now settled as they go to the 250 to a 36. Cornell still at a 38. Princeton with a slight lead now, pushing from 1 seat to 2 seat. The coxswain trying to call a move, pushing them out to about 3 seats now, but this is still a very tight race. We have Princeton striking at a 38, and Cornell still at a 40. As the crews start to approach the first 500-meter mark, we have Princeton with maybe a seat lead over Cornell. Both crews rowing stroke for stroke right now. Cornell not giving an inch, now making a push. Cornell's pushing to come back level with Princeton. They're probably about 2 feet back. They've clearly moved back into the slight lead that Princeton is. Now Princeton responding. Princeton moving back out again. They've taken their seat back. Lead maybe by 2 seats. Princeton at a 37. Cornell at a 38. Princeton has regained their 2-seat lead, pushing now, trying to get more, as Cornell is trying to hold them as they're coming into 7:50 gone into this race. Very tight racing here, back and forth. Cornell now pushing back again, has closed the lead to less than a seat. They're pushing. Cornell at a 37, Princeton at a 37. Crews stroke for stroke right now. Princeton with maybe a seat lead over Cornell. Cornell trying to push. The crews are about 800 meters into this race. Princeton pushing out again. Has about 2 seats, making a big push here coming into the 1,000. Princeton at a 38. Cornell at a 39. Less than a seat separates these crews as they're now halfway through this race. Less than a seat is separating. Cornell has pushed back. Cornell is level with Princeton now. Princeton now trying to respond, holding off Cornell. Princeton at a 39. Cornell at a 39. Cornell may have taken a slight lead here. Cornell now about a seat up on Princeton. Princeton trying to respond, and is responding as the crews, are now passing the 750 mark. Cornell maybe with a slight lead on Princeton now, but less than a seat separates these 2 crews. Cornell's trying to make their move count now, trying to stay ahead of Princeton. Cornell now rolling a 39. Princeton at a 38. Cornell clearly in the lead now, but not by more than 2 seats. Princeton now moving. Princeton at a 39, coming back into Cornell's lead. As these crews approach the last 500, there's going to be less than 2 seats separating them. But Cornell clearly has the advantage right now that Princeton held for the first 750 of this race. Princeton moving the rating early as we come into the last 500. Princeton's already at a 40. Cornell at a 39, still maintaining their lead, but Princeton is moving the rating early, trying to get back into Cornell as the crews are in the last 500. Princeton now at a 43. Cornell at a 39. Cornell still maintaining their lead, maybe 2 to 3 seats now, as Princeton is moving the rating, trying to come back into Cornell. We have Princeton at a 42. Cornell at a 41 with 2:50 left to go in this race. Cornell is leading probably by 2 to 3 seats. Princeton now moving the rating again, trying to come back into Cornell. Cornell holding on to that slight lead, maybe moving out by another seat. Cornell now shifting up as the crews are into their last 20 to 25 strokes. We have Cornell at a 42. Princeton now coming back. Princeton has moved the rating. We have Princeton at a 44 now, clearly pushing back into Cornell. Less than 2 seats. There's less than 10 strokes left in this race, and Princeton is coming back. Princeton is coming back into the Cornell lead. This is going to be a very tight finish. This is going to be less than half a second again. And we have less than half a second. A very tight race. It was never more than 3 seats for 2,000 meters.